There is the world we all know, and then there is the world we never see. This is not a journey for tourists. This is a journey into the invisible. Welcome to the invisible world. Tonight, we travel to Arctic. There are places on Earth where the map feels unfinished, where roads disappear, where the sun forgets how to rise or how to set. Welcome to the Arctic. A world that begins not with a border, but with a line. The Arctic Circle at 66 degrees 33 minutes north. Cross it, and the rules of life quietly change. Here, winter can last 8 months. Temperatures fall below minus 50 degrees Celsius. And yet, people stay. Why? Have you ever wondered what kind of human chooses to live where nature clearly does not want you? This is not a story about survival alone. This is a story about adaptation, identity, and obsession. About light, darkness, and the thin line between them. Above the Arctic Circle, the sun becomes unreliable. In Longyearbyen, Norway, the world's northernmost town with over 1,000 residents, the sun does not rise for 128 days each year. From late October to mid-February, there is no sunrise, only a deep blue twilight, what locals call the blue hour, stretched into weeks. Here's something few people know. Seasonal depression is lower here than in southern Europe. Why? Because darkness is expected, prepared for, respected. People schedule social life, sports, work, everything around the absence of light. Psychologists call it structured darkness. Do you think you'd handle months without sunlight, if you knew it was coming? Along Norway's Arctic coast lie villages like Hamnøy, Reyna, and Skrova. Places that look staged for cinema, but are brutally real. Fishing is not tradition here, it's survival. The Lofoten cod migration is one of the largest natural events on Earth. Every winter, millions of cod travel over 1,000 kilometers to spawn. Did you know stockfish, air-dried cod, was one of the reasons Europe survived the Middle Ages? Norway exported Arctic fish to Italy, Spain, even Africa, without refrigeration. The Arctic fed the world long before the world noticed it. Iceland should not exist. It sits on the mid-Atlantic ridge where tectonic plates tear apart. Volcanoes erupt under glaciers. Fire meets ice, constantly. Under Vatnajökull, Europe's largest glacier, active volcanoes wait. In 2010, Eyjafjallajökull shut down global air traffic. A reminder that this island controls far more than it should. Here's a fact rarely mentioned. Over 90% of Icelandic homes are heated by geothermal energy. In the Arctic, Iceland solved energy independence centuries ahead of everyone else. Do you see the pattern? Extreme environments create extreme innovation. Greenland is not white. It's blue, black, cracked, alive. Its ice sheet holds enough frozen water to raise global sea levels by over 7 meters. But here's the part no one tells you. Inside the ice are trapped air bubbles, perfect time capsules of Earth's ancient atmosphere. Scientists drill ice cores and literally breathe air from 100,000 years ago. Greenland remembers the planet better than we do. In villages like Ittoqqortoormiit, population under 350 people, supplies arrive by ship only a few weeks per year. If the weather turns, you wait, sometimes for months. Patience here is not a virtue, it's a requirement. In Russia's far east lies the Kolyma Highway. Built by Gulag prisoners, over the bones of those who died building it. Locals call it the Road of Bones. In winter, it becomes a lifeline. In summer, a trap. Temperatures drop below -60 degrees Celsius. Car engines are never turned off. Ever. If they stop, they die. Did you know entire towns here were abandoned not because of climate, but because the Soviet system collapsed? The Arctic didn't fail these places. Politics did. Before borders, before nations, before maps, there were the Arctic peoples. The Sami, the Inuit, the Nenets. The Nenets of Siberia still migrate over 1,000 kilometers per year with reindeer herds across frozen tundra. Their tents, chum, can be assembled in under an hour in -40 degrees Celsius. They read snow the way others read books. Wind, ice, sound. What knowledge do you think we've already lost by no longer needing to listen to nature? Polar bears are not white. Their fur is transparent. Their skin is black. They can smell prey over 1 kilometer away through ice. Arctic foxes change color with the seasons. Caribou see ultraviolet light. Whales sing across hundreds of kilometers. Life here doesn't fight the cold. It becomes it. The 10 things you completely ignore about the Arctic. Most people think they know the Arctic. Ice, polar bears, silence, the end of the world. But the truth is, almost everything you think you know about the Arctic is wrong. So let's slow down and take a closer look. First, the Arctic is not empty. More than 4 million people live beyond the Arctic Circle. Not explorers, not scientists on temporary missions. Families, children, entire cities. In Murmansk, Russia, nearly 300,000 people live above the Arctic Circle, the largest Arctic city on Earth. There are schools, nightclubs, hospitals, and traffic jams. The Arctic is not a frozen wasteland. It's a lived-in world. And that alone changes everything. Second, the Arctic is warming faster than anywhere else. The Arctic is heating up 4 times faster than the global average. This phenomenon has a name: Arctic amplification. When ice melts, it stops reflecting sunlight. Dark ocean water absorbs heat. the system feeds itself. Some Arctic regions now experience winter rain, something that was almost unheard of just decades ago. Imagine rain in a place built for snow. What happens to a culture designed for cold when cold begins to vanish? Third, the ground itself can explode. Beneath the frozen Arctic soil lies an invisible threat. Permafrost contains massive amounts of trapped methane and carbon dioxide locked away for thousands of years. As the ground thaws, gas escapes. In Siberia, scientists have documented giant craters formed by sudden methane explosions. The Arctic isn't just melting, it's exhaling. Fourth, some roads exist only when it's cold. In the Arctic, winter creates infrastructure. There are highways made entirely of ice. They cross frozen rivers, lakes, and tundra. In Canada and Siberia, entire communities depend on these ice roads for food, fuel, and medicine. When winters shorten, the roads disappear. No ice means no supply. In the Arctic, climate change isn't abstract, it's logistical. Fifth, darkness doesn't break people the way you think. Above the Arctic Circle, the sun can disappear for months. In places like Longyearbyen, Norway, there is no sunrise for over 4 months each year. And yet, depression rates are not higher than in many southern countries. Why? Because darkness is expected. Organized, shared, light becomes precious. Community becomes survival. The Arctic doesn't fear darkness. It prepares for it. Sixth, animals don't suffer from the cold. Arctic animals are not victims of winter. They are specialists. Polar bears rely on ice to hunt. Seals need it for safety. Caribou navigate using ultraviolet vision. Cold is not their enemy. Speed is. When the environment changes too fast, even perfection fails. Seventh, indigenous knowledge predicts change before satellites. For Arctic indigenous peoples, weather is not data, it's language. Inuit hunters can hear when ice is unsafe. Sami herders read snow like a map. Their observations often match scientific measurements, sometimes years earlier. But this knowledge is vanishing as elders pass away. The Arctic is losing libraries faster than glaciers. Eighth, the Arctic is becoming a global battleground. As ice retreats, new shipping routes open. What once took weeks can now be crossed in days. Russia, China, the United States, and European nations are racing to control access to Arctic resources, oil, gas, minerals. The Arctic may look peaceful, but geopolitically, it's one of the most tense regions on Earth. Ninth, the sky can shut down modern civilization. Auroras are beautiful, but they are caused by solar storms. A powerful enough storm could disable satellites, GPS, and power grids. In 1859, a solar storm sparked fires in telegraph stations. If it happened today, global systems would fail within hours. The Arctic sky doesn't just glow, it warns. Tenth, the Arctic is not distant. What happens here affects everywhere. Jet streams, ocean currents, weather patterns across Europe, Asia, and North America. The Arctic is not the edge of the world, it's its control center. And it's changing faster than we are ready for. The animals of the Arctic, engineered by extremes. In the Arctic, animals are not simply alive, they are engineered. Every bone, every layer of fur, every instinct has been shaped by cold, hunger, and silence over tens of thousands of years. There is no room here for error, no margin for weakness. If the Arctic is a test, then its animals are the final version. Polar bears, the apex predator that should not exist. The polar bear is the largest land predator on Earth. Adult males can weigh over 700 kilograms. They are strong enough to break ice with a single strike. But here's what most people don't know. A polar bear's fur is not white. It's transparent, hollow, and acts like fiber optics, channeling light toward black skin underneath, which absorbs heat. Their paws are covered in tiny bumps called papillae, creating natural grip on ice. They don't slip, they adapt. Polar bears can smell a seal from more than 1 kilometer away and detect breathing holes hidden under thick ice. And yet, they can starve to death within weeks if ice retreats too far. The world's most powerful predator depends entirely on frozen water. Does that surprise you? Arctic fox, master of disappearance. The Arctic fox is smaller than a house cat, and somehow it survives where almost nothing else can. It can withstand temperatures as low as -70 degrees Celsius. How? Its fur changes color with the seasons, white in winter, brown or gray in summer. Perfect camouflage. Its metabolism slows so efficiently that it requires less energy than any other mammal in the Arctic. Here's an unsettling fact. When food is scarce, Arctic foxes follow polar bears, not for protection, but for leftovers. They wait. They observe. In the Arctic, intelligence often matters more than strength. Would you have the patience to survive like that? Caribou, walking across continents. Caribou, known as reindeer in Eurasia, perform one of the largest land migrations on Earth. Some herds travel over 5,000 kilometers per year. Their hooves change with the seasons, soft in summer, sharp-edged in winter, acting like snowshoes and ice picks. But here's the part most documentaries skip. Caribou can see ultraviolet light. Snow reflects UV. Predators do not. To a caribou, danger literally glows. Imagine seeing threats before they even touch your world. The whales, voices beneath the ice. Under Arctic ice lies another world. Bowhead whales can live over 200 years, making them the longest living mammals on Earth. Some alive today were born before electricity. Their skulls are reinforced, allowing them to break ice from below to breathe. And then there's their language. Whale songs travel for hundreds of kilometers under ice, changing patterns year to year. Scientists have recorded melodies that never repeat. Is this communication or culture? Walrus, giants held together by community. Walruses look prehistoric, because they are. Weighing up to 1.5 tons, with tusks longer than a human arm, they should be unstoppable. But walruses are not solitary. They survive through collective warmth. Thousands gather on ice floes, pressed together, sharing heat. When ice disappears, they are forced onto land, and deadly stampedes follow. The walrus doesn't lose because it's weak. It loses because its environment changes too fast. Does that sound familiar? Seabirds, life on the edge of gravity. Cliffs along the Arctic coast host millions of seabirds. Puffins, guillemots, kittiwakes, nesting on ledges barely wider than a foot. Their chicks leap into the ocean before they can fly, guided only by sound. Miss the jump, and it's over. Why would nature design something so brutal? Because in the Arctic, hesitation is fatal. The silent disappearances. Here's the part no one likes to talk about. As ice melts, species are not simply moving north. They are colliding. Red foxes push out Arctic foxes. Killer whales enter waters once protected by ice. Diseases follow. The Arctic ecosystem is not breaking loudly, it's unraveling quietly. And the animals know it before we do. The Arctic is warming 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. Villages are sliding into the sea. Ice roads vanish. Ancient knowledge becomes obsolete in a single generation. But the Arctic is not just a victim, it is a mirror. It shows us what happens when adaptation fails or succeeds. So let me ask you this. If your world became darker, colder, harsher tomorrow, would you endure? Or would you disappear? Because at the edge of the world, life doesn't ask for comfort, it asks for commitment.